Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Jennifer Bowman with Olympia Piano, and in this video we will be doing a recap of all the techniques gone over in the Holiday Harmonization series. So I have this handout as a download on my website, so look in the description and you'll be able to print out one document that has all of the information that we've covered in the past month. Quickly, I'd like to just go through each one, and then if you'd like more information on that technique, you can refer to the video in the series. In this worksheet, I'm only using the primary chords, by the way, so 1, 4, and 5 in the key of C. So let's start at the beginning. Block chords in root position and inversions. You can find this information in more detail in videos number 1 and 2. The tune is going to be Jolly Old St. Nicholas. I'll play a little bit of it with root position and then a little bit of it with inversions. Here's root position. So in this style, your finger number 5 is playing the root of the chord. Now, if we take that same concept in the inversions, 1 chord and 5 chord share the G, so we're going to keep that G where it is. And then the 1 chord and the 4 chord share a C or a Do, so we're going to keep that where it is. If we're using block chords and inversions, it would sound like this. Keep the G where it is. Now we're going to keep the C where it is. Okay, line 3 here. So this is a boom chuck where we split up the chord, 1 note with finger 5 and 2 notes with the top. Sometimes it's in root position, sometimes it's in inversions. And so this was covered in video number 3, basic boom chuck. And then I'm also going to cover the boom chuck and inversions right now as well. So we'll do up on the housetop. If I were to take my left hand and put those chords in inversions, the 1 and the 4 would be like this, and the 1 and the 5 would be like this. So it would sound like this. You could use this technique for Jingle Bells, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or Frosty the Snowman. Those sorts of pieces sound good with the boom chuck. So moving ahead, video number 4 covered boom chuck chuck. So this would be the same idea, but in a 3/4 time. I used the example We Wish You a Merry Christmas for this. Here it is in root position. So here it is in close positions, not so much hopping around. This kind of accompaniment could also be used for Oh Christmas Dream. It could be used for Silver Bells. It could be used for the Chipmunk Song. Then in video 5, we did one more version of the boom chuck, and this one we took the chord and we alternated between the root and the 5th for the bottom note, so like this. So if I did Jolly Old St. Nicholas with this feature, it would sound like this. The video on this concept, video number 5, was Go Tell It on the Mountain. You could use this for Frosty the Snowman. Jingle Bell Rock. So lots of applications for this alternate boom chuck. Then in video 6, we did flowing broken chords in root position. So I'm going to give an example here with Silent Night, and I'll go over both root position as well as in inversions. So here it is in root position, just rolling through the chord tones. Down to G. And F. Now, we could also do this without hopping around. So here are the flowing broken chords in inversions, also Silent Night. Next door, back to C, or 1, up to F, and so forth. This accompaniment feature works really well for lots and lots of the Christmas carols. You could use this for the first Noel. You could use it for Away in a Manger. That time. Building upon this, I did not do a video in 4/4, so if you did want to play this pattern in 4/4 time instead of just going up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So a good example for that would be Good King Wenceslas. Down to F and C. Now if I did that in inversions, it would look like this: 1, 1, 4, 1. You could use this accompaniment for things like I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. Or O Little Town of Bethlehem. Then in video 7, we built upon this technique. Instead of just using 3 notes, we used 4 notes. This is called an arpeggio, up and down. The video on this was Away in a Manger, and we sped up the left hand so we could get 1 up and down per measure. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. So it sounds like this. We could also do this technique in inversion, so it would look like this: 1, 4, 1, 5, 1. So that would sound like this. 4, 1, 5. So you could use this technique for other flowing pieces in 3/4, like Silent Night, or First Noel, or Oh Christmas Tree. Really nice accompaniment. In video 8, we discussed one of my favorite techniques, which I call the basic pattern. It's the root of the chord, the fifth of the chord, and then the octave of the chord. And in videos 8 and 9, I gave you a few different options. We have going up and down, and going up with a scale at the top. So I'll show you a couple of those right now. We had Oh Christmas Tree, and then doing it fast, slow, fast, or we could go up and down for all of those. Or we could walk up the scale for each of them. This pattern also would work well for Silent Night. Going up and down, walking up, maybe walking up, minor major, it sounds really pretty with. Simple. Up and down, walking up. So we can also do this basic root fifth octave pattern in 4/4. I addressed this in Angels We Have Heard on High. I'm going to just show you now how it feels in 4/4. So we have the up version. Up and down. Up and down. Or we could do walking up. So in 4/4 time, you could also do this basic pattern with pieces like Joy to the World. Or maybe I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. Or O Little Town of Bethlehem. Also, with this root fifth octave pattern, you can alter it slightly. I addressed this in video number 10 using something called a walk down, where we just change the middle note, and sometimes the outside notes are not the root of the chord. So now I'm going to play the first Noel and demonstrate this. 1 chord, 5 chord. See, the middle note's not a fifth. It's just a note of the chord. 4 chord, 1 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord. So lots of applications for the left hand within all of these chords. In video 10, the first Noel, what we did is we harmonized the melody underneath with the interval of a sixth or a third, like this. Then we use thirds. You can use this technique in basically anything. Works really well with Silent Night, for example. Thirds. Sixth. Sixth. Third. So learning how to use your ear to figure out should it be a sixth or a third. And finally, in video 11, similar technique, but in this case, we did entire chords under the right-hand melody. So what you have to do is figure out which inversion of the harmony chord has the melody note on the top. So for the example, we used Auld Lang Syne. That's your 5 chord, and it went to a 1 chord. Different inversions of the C chord, and then a G chord. And C chord, all inversions, and then F chord. This full chord technique sounds good also with pieces like Joy to the World. Or Hark the Herald Angels Sing, that kind of thing. So there are lots of different ways to harmonize melodies. I hope you found this series helpful. I certainly had fun making these videos, and please feel free to write to me either in the comments or in my email, which is in the About section of my YouTube channel, with any questions or ideas for videos. I welcome hearing from you, and I wish you a Happy New Year. Thanks again for watching.